finding Roman coins at 14 sensitivity. How's that? I'm in the final stages of finishing my new program. So first of all, let's get out into the field and let you see and hear what it does. Low power and just whisper those targets out. There's another. Bouncing round a little bit. That's definitely a digger. I think we're getting close. There it is, look. She's a Roman. Coming in at 10, 11. Good sound, that. Let's just take my glove off because I want to have a better look at that. Don't appear to be too sun-baked, does it? Got a bit of crud on it. Yeah, I'll have a look at that one later. Here we go then. Perhaps I was slightly out on the pinpoint in there. No. It's a deep one. Okay, must be there now. Okay. There it is this round. And it is a Roman coin, yay. Look at that. Quite a deep one too. Don't think there's a lot on it. Most of these are toast. Yeah, you can get a rough idea of it all, to be fair with you. I can see perhaps a little stick man standing up there. And let's have a look on the other side what we got. Nah, not a lot there at all. Tiny little Roman minim, look. Tiny little coin. Let's take my gloves off, show you a bit better. So, okay, here we go. What a tiddler. Absolutely tiny, isn't it? Imagine walking around with a bag full of those. So you've really got to treat your sweep as if you're using, say, a 6-inch coil. You need to use the whittling sweep rather than the standard discovery sweep, as we say. So you've really got to be in control of this machine because there's a lot going on. Even at 14 sensitivity, you can only imagine what this will be like if I turn the sensitivity up to, say, 20, 22. Which is strange. I have a lot of people comment on my videos, oh, you're running the sensitivity too low on the Manticore. Rubbish, I'm still finding stuff. They may run a higher sensitivity on their land, but for me, trust me guys, the sensitivity getting that right is the key. Let's have a look at this one. That's amazing. That's a little Roman fibula, look. Still got part of a pin on it. Ooh, I'll take that. Do you know what? I'm not even going to count that one because it's on the surface. Can you believe that? I'm not going to count that one. I might even throw that one back. Yeah, let's throw that one back. Go on. Away with you. Well, there you go, guys. It's my new Sniper HF program and it uses a really high frequency. So let's go back to the office and I can run you through the settings so you can try it for yourself. Right, let's get straight into it. One thing I will say before we start, this program won't work everywhere. I've had fantastic days with it, but I've also had days where the machine is really unsettled and it doesn't matter what adjustments I make, I can't seem to get it to react the way I want. So I think it's because it's running a really high frequency. So what I'm saying here is if it doesn't work on your site, don't beat yourself up over it. I think this is going to be very well suited to the drier conditions. It's not a program to get ultimate depth, but it's a program to sniff out those smaller targets. So let's get straight into it. So because this program runs off a really high frequency, we need to choose a baseline which gives us the highest frequency. So if we go into custom programs, hit the left arrow key, and we're in the Goldfield program. Now we need to make a few adjustments to this because you can already hear it's getting a little bit out of shape. So let's go up, noise cancel, obviously that's something you can do in the future. Ground balance is on auto track, so we need to turn that off. Recovery speed 5. Discrimination pattern. So if you're digging a lot of coke and unwanted targets around the target ID of 1, you might need to make some adjustments. So we've rejected 0, we've accepted 1, which is your coke. So entirely up to you. So the rest of it's accepted, so you should have 0, tick, 1, tick, 3, 4, 5, all with a cross in it. So now we've rejected just that little sliver of coke, but you can tweak around with that to your heart's content depending on your sites, obviously. So let's go up one more. Detect screen, that's entirely up to you. I'll show you my personal detect screen in a moment. Ferrous volume, I like to go maximum. Ferrous tones, it's greyed out. Now that's greyed out for a reason, and I'll tell you why right now. Prospecting, we're in prospecting as a default, so we need to come across to normal, and we're on the medium profile. Now if I'm on a really busy little Roman site or medieval site, I will turn that to simple because I don't want any modulation in the signal. I just want to hear what's there because I'm only scratching around the first 5 or 6 inches. So that's entirely up to you. If you want a little bit more perception of depth in the audio sound, by all means use medium. That's entirely up to you. So let's go back down now. Ferrous pitch, obviously keep that on 1. And now we've brought the tones into play because we've gone from prospecting to normal. So I tend to use 2-tone all tones, region all tones. So we need to edit this one to 14. Go back, go across, volume, we don't want to touch that. The next dot there, edit that, drop that down to 14 as well. So we've got a flat line there. Now we'll move it across until this number says 32 or 35, it's entirely up to you. So that's the tone break between the low conductors and the higher conductors. But we need to make this line here a little bit more stable. So let's go back, hit the arrow key, so we've highlighted that dot there, and now we want to bring this down. So our number was 14 originally. So let's pick that up. So it's 14, 16 upwards. So you can see that turns into a full tone now. That's all we have to do on that. That's probably the hardest bit you'll do on this program, but I've got lots of information there. Go up one, audio theme, we've talked about that. Multi-IQ, perfect. You don't really need to touch anything there. And that's it. That is my Minelab Manticore Sniper HF program. Now, as you saw in the video, that sensitivity might want to go down to something like 14 if you're on a really busy site, because you're not looking at depth, you're looking at target clarity and target separation. And if you start getting the sensitivity levels too high, you're going to get a load of false signals, but obviously you adjust that to suit your ground. And likewise, there may be an opportunity to have a mess around with that recovery speed. You might want to try 6, or you might want to try 4 just to tune it to your site. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and another thing, this program may be dependent on ground balance, because it's such a high frequency. You may have to ground balance just to settle it down, but again, you can see what that's like when you actually get on the field. But personally, I like to try and keep the ground balance at about 0 if I can. But like I say, there has been occasions where the machine's been a bit bonkers and I've settled it down by ground balancing over a clean spot. But obviously on a Roman site, there's not a lot you can do with that because there are no clean spots. So that is the interface I'm using. Ferrous bar, top ferrous bar, bottom ferrous bar. Doesn't do a lot, to be fair with you, so it doesn't really matter where you have that, but you should know enough about the Manticore now to have your own favourite ferrous bar settings. Now the beauty about this program, you can quickly access it. Sure, you can save it as your favourite, but I've got the two-tone hybrid as my favourite because it's got the star there. So if you have that as your favourite and the Goldfield program or my Sniper HF program was the last accessed, you can toggle between the two programs just by simply pressing the Head and Shoulders icon button there. So you don't have to faff around going into the menu. That's a shortcut to your previously used program. So you can compare signals there and let us know what you think in the comments. Well, that's it guys, thank you very much for watching, and of course we've got loads and loads of Minelab videos on the Skill School playlist, so why not have a look at those and get a little bit more Minelab information, and we will see you on the next video. Bye for now.